Everybody's inquiring, how did Straitway come about? How did we get to this point? And they can tell and sense that it's like something is catching fire. It's growing because they can see the happiness, they can see the joy, they see the peace that is being obtained. They can see we're very serious about this walk.
How would you, I'm thinking about, you've been doing this for a long time. You've been in it in the beginning, and you have said, obviously with Pastor Dow leading, but you supporting that man. We have a Straitway for people like myself coming into this stuff. If you can talk to the next generation, I just give you the floor. If you was talking to the next generation, what would you want to, if it was your last word and you wanted to encourage them in this walk? Because obviously you've been doing this for a long time, so you've seen a lot. You continue to press on. You continue to, stand firm to the end. How would you encourage the next generation?
I would say, look on the world as it is. And do you like seeing what's going on in the world? Do you want a life of death like they're living? Do you want to perish like they perish? Or you want to go to a place where there is no pain, there's no suffering, there's no hurt? Do you want to continue in running away from your traumas and from your fears and from your pains and from your shortcomings? Or do you want to meet them head on and overcome them?
You need to have a made-up mind. And that it can't be just a verbal acknowledgement. It has to be something that is settled in you, that there just is no other option.
Do you want to really understand your purpose on this earth? Because a lot of people don't understand their purpose on the earth. Why am I created for this time? Why am I understanding this Most High? How come, me of all people, rest of my family don't know Him, but I know Him.
We came here to be set apart and to be perfect for the Most High, right? He does not want next person to be perfect, but you got to remember that He's showing you to be perfect for Him.
You have to be willing to die out. You have to be willing to truly be teachable. You can be very knowledgeable in areas, but the way you do things in the world don't always work on a community. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to learn.
I encourage you to keep knowing Him. You won't get to a richer understanding in Him unless you stay in this walk, suffer the sufferings, go through the pains, go through the hurts, go through the trials, go through the tribulations.
The journey is painful, but if it's not painful, you're not growing. Grow through it. Get closer to the Most High.
So any tribulation, offense, you got to remember, that's not the other person, you. It's just eye on you. And endure. And Most High show you, me.
You have to be willing to submit. That's a biggie that many people think they're submitted, and they're not.
Because we've got to train our mind, as it was in the beginning, that we are here, we are people of life, we are people in the light, we are children of the day, and we know how it is to live in darkness.
It is challenging for see myself. Am I correct? This is the hardest, challenging for, but this life, this community living, Most High is revealing to you, to you. It is a very, very painful process you're going through.
The community comes first in everything. Yes, you are a part of that body, but it's the whole that everything should be done for, and that should be the focus of your mind. Everything should be done for the whole. You can't have the focus on yourself or me and mine. It has to be on the whole, and in that whole, you and yours will benefit from it. Because if that isn't there, and you're thinking of coming to community, you're never going to work out, or it's not going to last, or you're going to be utterly miserable.
You can be perfect. We're all striving, but we're learning so much about the Father and in the Word that you can be perfect. You can live so that the Father can receive you in the end. So go and be perfect. Be perfect right in the area that you're in. Do it to the best of your ability. Serve Yah to the best of your ability, and don't lose it. Don't let the world distract you.
I see myself. Find about myself. Most every year going through tribulation, come out of it. Purge.
Because a lot of us, we have a background of living in sin, living in transgression, living in iniquity. And the Most High Yah, even as you as a chosen vessel to be a child of His, He lets you go through that so it can be a backdrop for what is going on now.
And, let your holiness guide you. Let your holiness be a standard that no matter what's around you, you'll stand by that. And that has to be in your heart. It's not something anybody can give you.
Keep your hand on the plot. Don't lose the vision. Follow the vision that you see that's been working. Stick with that. Follow the vision. If they can stick with the vision that's before them and stay in good union with Christ, they'll do well.
To remember to have respect for what has been done for them, to not discount it, what Yah has done for His people, Israel.
My encouragement to you is stay in the Word of Yah, because it will direct your feet, it will direct your paths. Trust in Him. He will supply all of your needs according to His riches and glory, because He's never failed me.
First and foremost is never to get the example and the drive that has been left for you and is at present right now, because the days are going to get more serious, more dark, more evil, and it's going to take what you see now and what you've experienced now, and it's going to have to even go to a greater level.
You're going to have to get ready for some hard times, because until we all come to the level of where Christ wants us to get, we're going to go through a lot of hardships to get there. You guys are at that turning point where there's going to be some hardships laid on you. It's just like when they invaded Afghanistan. Those people in Afghanistan loved their country, loved their family so much that no one could ever take them over. They were willing to go to poverty, total poverty level. We got to get there. We're going to be taken down to poverty level. And Bishop was the one that told us. He said that he was a World War II fighter, and he said you all don't know what it's like. He's talking about the blood that comes up to the horse's bridle when Jesus comes back, and the slaughter that's going to go on. He said, I've been on the battlefield, and I've had to walk through bodies filled with blood, the field just filled with blood. He said, it's going to get that bad for you all when you go through tribulation. He said, you've got to be ready. The plagues that are going to come on this earth are going to be really bad. All the plagues that we think we've cured because we're so civilized.
It's a must. It's not a probability. It's a must. You must go this way. You must be more determined, more stronger, have a greater love for Yah than the people that came before you. And if you can keep and hold that greater love of Yah than we have, as we've tried to demonstrate by our example and the way that we've lived and demonstrated the book, I think you'll get there.
Most of all, always keep in mind that ultimately Yah is going to deliver all of us. So whatever things we face, difficulties, trials, and things like that, they're just temporary. They mean nothing in the light of what is being brought to us.
And whatever I've lacked, He's always been there. Especially things of my spirit, things of the inner man. Because we can all look at ourselves and see that this body, it is deteriorating. It's getting old. It's losing strength. So what is in us that's going to be eternal? We need to really reach for the things of the eternal, the things that are in the world to come, which we have been subjected to, which the world does not understand, but we understand because of the Word, because of the testimony of Jesus Christ. We know within ourselves and our heart the one that hung on a tree and gave himself for us. And if we're really going to have a fellowship with him, we're going to have to fellowship through his sufferings. We're going to have to endure loss. If you really want him, you're going to have to endure loss, but the loss is a gain. No matter how much you lose in this walk, he said you will gain 30, 60, 100-fold. Even though I might not have, a wife and children now, though I got family, I have sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers. I have real family that really love, family that really care, family that are there for you.
Let not the wise man boast in his wisdom, nor the strong man boast in his strength, nor the rich man to boast in his riches. But if any man boast, let him boast in this, that he understands and knows me. We have to find that enduring substance, and it's not in us. It's in the Messiah. He is the strong bull, the strong shepherd. And if we allow him to manifest his life in us to the fullest, we will be successful beyond anything we could ever imagine, and we will find our place in him in peace and in joy overflowing.
A lot of us have come out of dysfunctional families. I mean, I don't know we can really call it a family, but now you have the privilege, you have the grace now to enter into a real family. A family that the Most High is gathering together in this last time, because the time is short. We can look upon the world scene and see all this homosexuality and everything going on, all the perverseness that's against the image of Yah, that's right there before our eyes as a witness. And we as the people of Yah, we know that's not for us. And we should turn away from that. And the only strength that we're going to have to keep us away from that is trusting in the Most High. He's the only power. He's the only source. He's the only strength that we should get in our mind, in our being. That's where our substance comes from. Without him, we can do nothing. We can do nothing. He is our sufficiency. With food, raiment, shelter, clothing, there's where the contentment should be.
Can it be done? Absolutely. But you have to have the beat-up determination to do it. How you instill somebody into that, I don't know. But it's paramount that you get set apart and get a relationship with Yah. It's just a greater love for Yah. That's really all I can sum that up with.
It is a journey that everybody should, see. It is, just like the Bible says, straight is the way and narrow is the gate, and few that beat it will, you'll find it. I mean, I said, up on this rock I will build my church, the gates of hell will not prevail against me. Mm-hmm. And I'm always got things like that operating in my spirit, because like I thought I was living a good life in my past, but I didn't know that I was just a downright out sinner, you know what I mean? I never did deny that he was God, Jesus Christ, Almighty, but I never did, just like I said, I wasn't serving him. But everything that Pastor Dow presented to be in this mama, I received it with open heart.
Let me also end on this right here. I'm here, but I can't do this by myself. Sister Carol's been there all the way through. Brothers, faithful, one heart, one mind, love the Father, with me through thick and thin.
if I didn't have them, there wouldn't be any Straitway. And I love them. That's it.
Thank you, Pastor.